Hey guys, welcome back to another weekly FPL recap video. This is for Premier League Game Week 16. You can tell I am extremely jet lagged. I woke up at 5 a.m. this morning, and so I'm just getting by over here. I haven't figured out like a good place to record, but as always, I'm joined by Kendall. Ken, how's it going?
Yeah, good, thank you. Obviously, there's been a little bit of drama today with the Champions League draw,
Oh my
so
God, yeah.
that's that's been the focus of the day. But yeah, I'm good, thank you. Nice to be back.
When we drew Lil, I woke up and I went on Twitter and the draw had like just happened, and I was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe we drew Lil. That's amazing! Like best case scenario for
Yeah,
Chelsea." And then when they said that they were doing a redraw, I was like, "You've got to be kidding me! We're definitely going to be facing Bayern Munich or Real Madrid. It's like it's just written in the stars because there are only four teams that we could face:
yeah.
Bayern, Real Madrid, Ajax, or Lille." And we got them again. So that's just absolutely mad. But I guess as an Atletico fan, you're happier to be playing Man United than you are to be playing Bayern.
Yeah,
Well,
yes, a little bit. To be honest, I honestly thought that no, regardless of what happened, no draw was good for us. That's how I felt because just like the form and like the way we've been playing at the moment, but especially the way that we ended up getting through the Champions League was like very last minute. So yeah, I was not happy with anything, but I am a lot happier with Manchester United than I am Bayern Munich because
yeah.
honestly, the Bayern Munich game would have just been a write off in my opinion. I know we had them in the group stages last Champions League as well, but and we got beat 4-0 and then drew 1-1, but still at just the way that we are right now, I'm just not confident whatsoever. So yeah, a little bit of a better draw, but still not confident with that at all.
I don't think that United have been playing so well, and we'll get into it. But let's just take a look at the fixtures. So match day 16, it was the match day of penalties. Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Manchester United all needed penalties in order to win their games. But let's just run through the results this week. Brentford beat Watford at home 2-1. City beat Wolves 1-0, courtesy of the penalty, and Wolves got a red card, which we will talk about. Chelsea leads 3-2, which was an absolute roller coaster of a game. Liverpool beat Aston Villa 1-0 at Anfield. Arsenal came back and won 3-0 against Southampton. Norwich unfortunately lost to United 1-0. Burnley kept West Ham to a draw 0-0. Leicester beat Newcastle 4-0, which was surprising. And then Crystal Palace blasted Everton 3-1. So, what was the standout fixture for you this week? Which results were you maybe like most surprised about?
I think probably Chelsea Leeds was like the game of the weekend because it was just so last minute. Obviously, that you guys ended up getting the result. There's some questionable penalties. I mean, the Man City Wolves result was a little bit, I thought, handed to them because I just did not. We'll obviously get into it, but I just did not think that was a penalty. So yeah, and Leicester 4-0 Newcastle. Obviously, that might seem a little bit biased, but I just did not think it was going to be 4-0. I didn't expect us to get a result at all, but I just didn't think that we were going to just lie down the way that we did. And it was very embarrassing. So yeah, it was a little bit of a busy Premier League weekend, this one.
Yeah, it was. So let's get into the fixtures. I have like my little stats, and I can do this because I'm wearing my glasses today. I literally couldn't be asked to put my contacts in. So let's talk about Leicester 4-0 Newcastle. So Leicester beat Newcastle, but if we look at the stats, it's actually a very flattering scoreline. So for shots, Leicester had 8, Newcastle had 12 shots on target, 5 versus 3. Possession was almost 50-50. It was 47 to Leicester and 53 to Newcastle. Newcastle also had more passes. They had the same amount of pass accuracy at 79%. So I wasn't able to watch the game, but looking at the stats, it looks quite even, but then you look at the scoreline and it's completely flattering Leicester. So what happened to that game?
So obviously, I'm not sure if you managed to catch the penalty decision, but that was an extremely poor penalty decision for James Maddison, in my opinion, and a lot of other fans' opinions. There was even Leicester fans saying that they genuinely do not know how that was even given. Lascelles went to get the ball off James Maddison. He won the ball, but then kind of planted his foot, and James Maddison took extreme advantage of that and ended up jumping over Lascelles' foot. But it was given, sadly. So that being the first goal changed the whole direction of the game from that point onwards, because as you said, the stats were quite similar. It was just when they were on the break, they were just way more cohesive and clinical than we ever would be on the break. And the second goal was an absolutely atrocious defending. Very, very horrendous defending. And then after that point, we just kind of broke down. We don't have anybody apart from Callum Wilson who can finish. So if the service is coming in, which to be honest, it doesn't really that much, but if the service is coming in, if he's not on the end of it, it's unlikely that we ever get a goal. So I think that really needs to be addressed in January. But yeah, it just, as you say, a very flattering scoreline for Leicester. I will admit they were a better team on the day, if that makes sense. They maybe never played better, but they were a better team, and they ended up getting a result out of it. But yeah, it just doesn't look good for us because it's another 4 goals onto our goal difference, which is minus 17 now. So that just does not help at all in the situation that we're in, especially coming into the fixtures that we have, because next we have Liverpool, then we have Manchester City, and then we have Manchester United. So it's just not a good run for us. So yeah, really
just allows that to happen.
Really, I know, really disappointing
all
results.
3 of those teams.
Okay.
I was on a pod yesterday and they were saying like, oh, I'd be so happy if Newcastle got relegated. And they're like, what about you, Ellie? And I was like, well, my good friend Kendall is a massive Newcastle supporter. Like, I can't wish that for her.
You're a real one.
But let's move on. So Manchester City beat Wolves 1-0. It was a bit of a controversial decision. So first, in the most bizarre of situations, we saw Jimenez get a red card due to 2 yellows within a minute of each other. Do you think that should have been a red?
I think the first one probably wasn't a yellow. So I think it maybe a little bit unlucky, but the second one was definitely a yellow. Because obviously he intercepted the free kick and tried to stop it from being retaken. So yeah, it was just a total moment of utter stupidity from him, that second yellow card. I did not understand why he did that at all, because he literally just got another yellow card and he would have known that it was more unlikely to be a yellow card. So yeah, very, very silly decision from him. And obviously I wouldn't necessarily say it affected the game too much from that point onwards, but yeah, just big silly things from him that.
Yeah, it makes me think, why would you try to intercept that knowing that you're just got a yellow, you're on a yellow, and you're playing one of the most attacking-minded teams in the world in Manchester City? It just makes absolutely no sense that he did that. Looking at the penalty, the ball hit Moutinho's arm, but I rewatched it so many times, and I just felt that it was like the natural movement of his body.
Yeah.
Like, you go in for a block and you can't really control it, and it hit him like here. I don't even feel that he was like purposely trying to hit it with his arm. I just felt that while you're running, you're making a block and you use your arms to run, and that just happens. So was that a penalty for you?
No, I actually can't. I genuinely don't know how that was even given, even if it was checked afterwards, because it, like as you say, it hit him here. So realistically, I wouldn't have said that was a deliberate handball at all. I just don't see it. But as the whole penalties over the weekend, just some of them, but I was just like, I don't honestly know how that's been given. I'm like genuinely baffled at half the time. No wonder people call people like the refs inconsistent and stuff, because they are. It's just like a little bit of a joke. But yeah, that one for me was probably the easiest non-penalty of the weekend.
Yeah, no, for me as well. And I feel that there's just like this inevitability about Manchester City and Liverpool, especially. Like, no matter how the game is going, I feel like something will happen in their favor so
Yeah,
that they win, or they'll make something happen. Credit to them, but like it will happen, and that's why they're the top contenders for the Premier League.
yeah.
I do want to move. Let's move over to the Liverpool game. So Liverpool 1-0 Aston Villa. Steven Gerrard made his return to Anfield. And again, another penalty. Tyrone Mings commits the foul on Mohamed Salah. This one, I did feel that it was a penalty. He kind of wrapped himself around him, and especially knowing that you have Mohamed Salah, like that's something that you absolutely cannot do
Yeah.
in the box. And the penalty was just so well taken as well. Like one of like he just knew exactly what he was going to do, but he gave any keeper in the world absolutely no chance to save that penalty. What do you think?
Yeah, 100%. I just think Tyrone Mings is another player who I just find a huge liability. Like, I would be really disappointed if he was in my squad as a supporter, because he's like an untrustworthy defender in my opinion. I know everyone's going to have their off days, but him more than most. Even like as an England fan, and people who support England will know that there's like a thing that he only gets into the England squad because he's left-footed, which is probably true, because other than that, like even last season, Ezri Konsa was a better defender than him, and he never got into the squad, but Tyrone Mings did, and I just never understand that. So yeah, Tyrone Mings is a liability for me, and I think that it was definitely a penalty, and another very silly decision from a defender. You just can't do things like that. More often than not, it's going to go against you. So you just really need to just be aware of what you're doing. But yeah, I think I agree with you. I think that was a penalty.
I think he kind of like freaked out a bit knowing that it's
Yeah.
Mohamed Salah, because we'll get onto the Chelsea game. But those penalties I thought were super silly to concede because Rudiger won them, and he's not a Mohamed Salah. He's not going to go past you. So that's my transition to talk about Chelsea 3-2 Leeds. Something that I found super interesting, and maybe as a neutral, you let me know how you feel. But as a Chelsea fan, I feel that we never win like with a late goal. Like I feel that if we haven't scored by like the 70th, 75th minute, we rarely get a winner. And of course, I don't want to be in the situation where I'm relying on a late winner. I want to be winning games way before then. But that game was just another not great performance, to put it nicely, in my opinion. I'll give you a crazy stat, Ken. Since Ben Chilwell got injured versus Chelsea's 4-0 win against Juventus at home, Chelsea have conceded 10 goals in 5 games.
Wow, that's actually crazy considering like your defense was billed as like the top defense in Europe. So that's just crazy. I honestly think that you probably, I don't know if you'll agree, but I think that you've missed Chilwell and Conte like hugely. Because N'Golo Kante has become such a machine in that midfield under Tuchel. Like, I just think the whole game centers around him a lot of the time, especially like going when you are defending. So yeah, that's absolutely crazy. But remember me saying on here a few weeks ago, I said like you cannot play the intensity 100% all of the time. It's just impossible. Like, so everyone like moaning about Mendy and stuff. It's just impossible to play at that level all like every single game that you ever play. So there's bound to be some mistakes somewhere, but you still got 3 points, which is good. But I can see why you guys wouldn't be happy with the performance, because obviously it was 2 penalties, so I can see why you guys maybe have negatives to take from that.
Yeah, I mean, I tried not to be negative like
Yeah.
ever, especially after a Chelsea win. But I've kind of been saying for weeks, like at one point, Mendy's save percentage was 95%. Like that's not
Yeah.
sustainable. And the other thing is that our defenders were scoring the majority of our goals. The defenders
Mm-hmm.
and midfielders sprinkled in there. And the attackers really were, none of them were in such great form. And that's also not sustainable because you want your attackers to be the ones who
Yeah.
are contributing to goals. Now we've seen Mason Mount is stepping up to the plate. He has 3 goals and 2 assists in his last 3 games, which is mad considering he's 22 and was out for a large majority of the season. Um, But as a Chelsea fan, I just see these massive gaps between midfield and the defense. Like we're so missing N'Golo Kante. What he brings is invaluable to the team, and we're also missing Ben Chilwell. Like Marcus Alonso was at fault for both of the goals, I think. The first one was a penalty that he committed 1,000% a penalty every day.
It
And
was, yeah.
the second Leeds goal, the defending was just not there, and he didn't track the run, and he goes off and pulls off like a brilliant assist to get the Mason Mount goal, but then the defensive side just was not good enough for me. So I think that we're so missing Ben Chilwell. So and we need a solution for January because I have a bad feeling Chilwell's going to be out for the rest of the season, or at least
Has it been
most of it.
confirmed how long he's out, or?
No, they basically said that it's a partial ACL tear and they're going to reevaluate in January whether or not he needs surgery. So,
Okay.
TBD. We're hoping that he'll be back earlier, but I don't know. I'm very worried that he's going to be out for
Yeah.
the rest of the season, and we need somebody to fill in, not just because Marcus Alonso isn't the player that he used to be, but because with all of the games that you have, you can't have Marcus Alonso starting every single game, and we really don't
No.
have any other options. You could play Saul there, but we saw even against Zenit that he didn't perform so well and in that position. Or you could play Aspie, who's also been kind of struggling to keep up with the pace of the Premier League this year, and left wing back is not his natural position either. So we're in a bit of an injury crisis at the moment. We haven't had great results. I think if we have everybody fit, it'll be better, but it's just like getting through these games. It's been a bit of a rough time being a Chelsea fan, unfortunately. I'm just looking at the other results that I wanted to talk about. One more. Norwich nil, Man United 1. If we look at the stats, they're pretty split. Norwich 11 shots, Man United have 13. They both have 5 shots on target. Possession 47% to Norwich and 53 to United. United have slightly higher pass accuracy, but I really feel that Norwich could have won this game, and United were very lucky to win this game, and it was largely due to yet again David De Gea and Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, honestly, like, so after Cristiano Ronaldo scored that penalty, Norwich were just on the attack all of the time. And I was like, I honestly thought there was a double save by De Gea, and I genuinely thought like that was it. Norwich had scored. I just thought,
Yeah.
but I don't know how on earth that managed to be 1-0 because Norwich played really well. I think the action was super unlucky, and if that was a draw, I don't think any fan either side would have complained about it
Yeah.
because it was just so equal. But as always, Mr. Ronaldo made the most of his penalty, I must admit. He did make the most of that the contact. But everyone was just saying that Max Aarons was, WWE choke slamming him. I don't think it was that bad, but yeah, again, a very silly decision by a defender. Well, I suppose not a defender, he's a fullback, but still defensive line. And yeah, Ronaldo, he's Mr. Inevitable, isn't he? So
It is.
it is, the penalty was what it was really, and you can't really stop a Ronaldo penalty, to be fair.
Yeah, totally. I don't feel that United have been playing like so well. Obviously, I don't expect them to, suddenly start playing well, but I feel that even though they have 3 wins in their last 3 games, they have really like scraped those wins by completely leaving the race for the top 4 wide open, in my opinion. But I want to get for game week 16, what was your performance either by a team or by an individual, and what was your goal of the week?
Oh, my performance. So Tielemans scored a great goal against us. I wouldn't say it was my goal of the weekend though, because that's like stupid because it was against us. So I don't even want to say Tielemans against us. Who would be my performance of the weekend? Obviously Arsenal as well. They did 3-0, so
Yeah.
that was a big surprise. Gabriel obviously scored 2, who again is a centre back, but one was disallowed.
Gallagher also got a brace against Everton.
It could be any of those. To be fair, to be honest, I think Tielemans' second goal against us, it was kind of our fault, but it was such a good goal. So sadly, my bias aside, clearly because I'm choosing a score that is against us, that was good. And yeah, as you say, Conor Gallagher was really good.
Another baller.
Sealed the win in the 93rd minute, I think, or something like that. Conor Gallagher and Gabriel for Arsenal as well.
Nice. I just I love Conor Gallagher, so I want to say him as well. I also say that De Gea had a really brilliant performance.
De Gea was good.
A ton of really, really important saves, and they weren't easy saves by any means. And I felt that he really kept United in the game. And maybe I'm a little biased, guys. Let me know. My goal of the week is Mason Mount.
Yes, Mason Mount's goal was good. It was good, though.
It was a really good goal. It was a good assist by Alonso to pick him out, but just for Mason to hit it first time with his weaker left foot and know exactly what he wanted to do. I thought that was super, super impressive. So I just want to take a look at the Premier League table quickly and do a recap. So in the top 4, we currently have City on 38 points, Liverpool on 37, Chelsea on 36, and then there's a gap, West Ham at 28, and then we have United, Arsenal, Tottenham. Looking at the bottom, Leeds are in 15th with 16 points, Southampton are in 16th with 16, then Watford are in 17th with 13 points, Burnley in 18th, and then Newcastle and Norwich at the bottom with 10 points each. So certainly making for an interesting title race, an interesting relegation race as well. It's all extremely tight. Anything can happen. Don't give up hope yet.
I'll try not to. After Christmas, once January comes, I'm far gone at that point, but I think once January comes and I see the ideas and where we're heading, and I think a lot of clubs will be in that position, like even you guys at the top, because you will want that little bit of extra to get you to that title. So I think, once January comes and I see what direction we're heading in, then I might be a little bit either optimistic or pessimistic. We'll see which way we're going. But it's not a good run for us now. So I'm not expecting anything from the next 3 games. That's fine. So I can just get them out of the way. And then Everton is the 30th of December. So maybe, just maybe, there might be a result in that one.
I'm nervous for Everton. We play them on Thursday, and they have not been in good form. But I just have this feeling like it could really go either way because we have not been playing well either. And it sucks that we haven't been playing well. And I want us to play better, but we just have so many injuries. We have so many injuries. The entire midfield was out. Jorginho is playing through an injury, apparently.
Because I have him in my FPL. And it said there was he had a knock, so he was in orange. So to be fair, I wasn't even actually going to even put him in because I was he might not play.
You put him in and he got 2 penalties.
Yeah, then luckily I put him in. So I was I put him in because somebody else Højbjerg was not injured. The game was called off, so I took him out and put Jorginho back in because I didn't really have another choice. And then he got the 2 penalties. So I was happy.
I literally transferred out Conor Gallagher because I was like, he hasn't scored. He hasn't been playing in the same position. Crystal Palace haven't been playing well. And he only got 2 goals. I've literally had him in since almost the beginning. And I just went and transferred him right back in. I was like, I hate myself right now.
I took I think I took Martinez from Aston Villa out for Mendy, and then literally from that point, Mendy was letting goals in, and I was like, oh no, this is so bad. So at the weekend, I took him out for Ramsdale because Ramsdale's one of the keepers on form with Alisson right now. So I was like, I'll put Ramsdale in there. But knowing me and my luck, Ramsdale will start having a shocker now from
I
this.
know. I know. It's literally my luck. Literally. I have Ramsdale as well, if it makes you feel better. But literally that's the way it goes. I'm like, why? Why?
Always.
Why does this happen? And I was almost gonna put Mountain and then he scored and then I didn't put him in. So I don't know. I hope that I have a better week. I say that every single week, but I don't. But we're almost at the half-hour mark, and I feel like we've covered everything. So, Ken, thanks as always for joining me. Let everybody know where they can find you.
No, thank you as always. Yeah, you can just find me at Kendall Rowan, which is just here. That is my Twitter, it's my YouTube, it is my Twitch, it is my Instagram, like everything. If you just type Kendall Rowan, you will search it. So yeah, if you want to follow me on there, obviously Champions League content will be coming up a little bit more over the next few weeks. We've got a busy Christmas schedule, so I'm sure all of the content creators out there will be super busy over Christmas because the fixtures now are
Hot
quite
and heavy.
consistent. Yeah, very hot and heavy. So, and then obviously FA Cup at the beginning of January as well. So that's got to come round. So yeah, the next few months for content creators is going to be very hectic. So make sure you support all your content creator friends, guys, because they will need it. They will
Yeah.
need it over these next few weeks.
I took the Leeds game off because I was like, I am exhausted from
Yeah.
my flights, and I was like, we have so many games coming up. Like, I'm just going to take this one. Yeah, guys, I have like 3 streams today, which is crazy. I have 2 on here and 1 on Matisse's channel on Twitch. So make sure you tune
Work
into
rate
that.
is just out of this world with you. I love it.
I don't. Somebody asked me on Instagram on a Q&A, like, how do you make time for this? And I was like, I'm literally just always busy.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. That's how. But guys, I hope that you enjoyed this I want to say stream. It was like a stream, but we recorded it. This video. Let us know what your performance and your goal of the week was. And yeah, like Kendall said, so much content coming up for content creators. So make sure that you support your content creators, like this video, follow Kendall, follow myself. And yeah, hope you have a great rest of your day or evening. And until next time, we're out.